right, Eddie and the boys, thank you. Round 25 in the rearview mirror. And remember, what did you see in your rearview mirror? 1300 01 1170. The Rabbitohs 40, the Dragons 0. Completely dominant from the Rabbits, especially when young Cody Walker ran onto the field. And the interest lay in a couple of key questions, I reckon, coming out of this game. When will Alex Johnson break the record? Hat-trick against the Roosters, round 27? Nah. Anyway, one try for him on Thursday night, 210 in total. The other question, how long can Clint Gutherson play fullback for? Because Tyrone Munro, I mean, he's a fine athlete and good player. Just in one play, you went, oof, that didn't look good. And to quote Shane Flanagan, where do the Dragons get those one or two good players to make them a competitive side? Maybe it's 3 or 4. On the way they played on Thursday night. The Panthers 16, the Raiders 20. Game of the Century nomination here in this one. Unbelievable. What a spectacle, what a success. Footy country delivered, check my notes. One game to the country, but what a special one it was. They've come up with this. What a finish. Now, here's a couple of questions I think have been answered coming out of that game. Yes, the Raiders can win the comp. So that's one thing. And the other thing is the Panthers won't make the 4. They can. They still can make it mathematically, but they won't make the 4. And can they win it from there? And history says, and I know that history is made to be broken, but history says, and just looking at their squad, feels like, and this is where Ivan Cleary's experience comes into play, when and who does he rest over the course of the next 2 weeks? Storm 20, Bulldogs 14. Remember when the analyst came on Thursday and said that Storm Panthers Golden Point match was state of origin level in intensity and demands physically? Consider how the Panthers finished on Friday night, and then consider how Melbourne finished on Friday night. They absolutely dominated the first half, and then it was all Bulldogs. And Carraz did all the hard work and didn't get the try, and Hayes did all the hard work and didn't get the try, and there were some that thought maybe Stephen Crichton was taking it out, but at the end of the day, the Melbourne Storm prevail. They will finish top 2 again. The only unfortunate thing for them, they've got Harry Grant on the sidelines for 2 weeks. Harry on the sideline for 1 week when they wanted would have been fine. Harry for 2 weeks, that is suboptimal. They've got games against the Roosters and then the Broncos at Suncorp to finish off their year. The Seagulls 58, the Dolphins 30. Daly Cherry Evans marks 350 with a win and a celebration and a resurrection of types, and that is a Seagulls top 8 hope. So they all played well. Hard to score 58 points and not. And we're not calling it stat padding, but it's hard to score 58 and not go, oh, look, 2 line break assists. Anyway, how'd Tom play? For all the haters out there, you know who you are, Wolf. 22 runs, 205 metres, 2 line breaks, 4 line break assists, 3 try assists, 2 tackle breaks, 2 tries, 5 offloads, 6 tackles, no misses. And the Dolphins, I think they're vulnerable to the Titans this week. So, been brave for a long time, but they were beaten comprehensively in an 88-point ball game at 4 Pines Park. The Titans, speaking of, 18, the Warriors 32. All the talk about this was after the press conference rather than the actual game itself. Just to let you know, the Warriors won. Okay, so they've maintained their top 4 spot. A couple of late junk time tries to the Gold Coast, and that was enough for them. It was a very healthy crowd up there too, 23,271. Mostly Warriors fans, we're led to believe, according to the press conference. Speaking of, here it is, Des Hasler v Travis Mayne.
He signed for next year. So he signed for 26.
Have you given him permission to seek interest from other clubs?
He signed for 26.
Have you given him permission to seek interest?
He signed for 26.
You're not answering the question, Des.
I'm not going to answer it.
It's an important issue at the club.
No, it's not. No, I'm not going to answer. We don't discuss retention on this platform.
Yeah, but that's just a cop-out.
Well, no, it's not.
It is a cop-out.
No, it's not.
Mate, have a look at the crowd out there tonight. They're all Warriors fans. It's embarrassing.
He signed for 26.
South Sydney said that they're keen to sign him.
We've got to get him back on the field, do his rehab. He's signed here for 26. Thank you.
As Willow from Windsor said yesterday, I'm pretty sure Dave Fafita signed for 2026 based on what we... And we don't know the backstory, and that's what I was talking about earlier with Matty White. We do not know the backstory to that. Maybe that is the only time that Travis Main can get Des Hasler. And Des Hasler maybe knew, hey, mate, your time's done. You have a loss. Your contract actually was full of clauses that said 26 is only activated when X, Y, and Z happened. That hasn't transpired. So as a result of that, you knew you're going to be out the door. And maybe it's not Des Hasler's decision to make on David Fafita. And it feels like if Josh Hannay's coming in, then either Josh Hannay is a Dave Fafita fan and he convinces him to stay for $1 million, or he frees up a whole heap of space in his salary cap. But that's a Josh Hannay decision, along with other people in the club. The Eels 30, the Roosters 10. Well, this was a disappointment, wasn't it? Mostly for Dean Bulldog Ritchie, but also for the Roosters fans. So the home semi-final opportunity gone, and now the top 8 position is under threat for the Roosters. Storm in Melbourne, then the Rabbits, as we've talked about. The Storm in Melbourne minus Sammy Walker. 58% completion rate compared to 91% from the Eels. Go on, Fletch. Green shoots everywhere for the Parramatta Eels. Lomax was great. Mitchell Moses, what could have been for their season in 2025 with Mitchell Moses? And how exciting can you be about 2026? Joash Papali, you're looking at that and you're going, I'm looking there. And then we saw 80 minutes on the weekend where we went, yeah, he was revelling in a really exciting brand of footy. So big scalp for the Eels. And the Jason Ryles policy, again, you, Wolf, wrong. He's getting it right in so many ways for the blue and gold. The Knights 12, the Broncos 46. What a weird game of rugby league. Okay, so the Broncos won 9 tries to 2, but, and stay with me here, Knights fans, the Knights had a chance. If Fletcher Hunt could get that ball to Dane Gagai, or if Dane Gagai could catch the ball that Fletcher Hunt got to him, and then the chance to make it 20 points to 18 when James Schiller passes forward to Jake Arthur, who drops it, that was 2018. And that was absolutely game on there. And then it wasn't. It was 46 points to 12. Payne Haas comes in. When Payne Haas was running for that try, and remember, when Reece, we'll get to Reece shortly, but when Reece did Reece's stuff in the in-goal area, and then they went turnover, 6 again, Newcastle try, Michael Maguire went, oh my goodness, get Payne Haas back out there. 6 minutes to go before half-time, he was like, what on earth is happening out there? When he scored that try, Payne Haas, you went, is he a back rower, a centre? Have a look at how athletic he is. Anyway, Reece Walsh, to be there at the ground and to watch him in action is, and I mean on the field and off the field, enigmatic is, I don't think it's ever been more apt. The try that he scored from 60 metres out was breathtaking. It was extraordinary how athletic it was. The pass in the in-goal area was completely baffling. Like, what on earth is that? Anyway, the Broncos' best can win the comp. The Broncos' best is good enough to win the comp. They can finish top 4. They've just got these strange parts of their game. Have a look at Reece Walsh after the match. Okay, we were there live. We're calling it. So we're watching it. Oh, who's the bloke down there with his shirt off, getting selfies with all the fans? That's Reece Walsh. Like, you know, there's Viv Richards swagger and then there's Reece Walsh swagger. Like, I'm putting it in the same stratosphere. Uber confident, really, really content with what he's doing and why not. But absolutely had the greatest impact on that game. They won 46 points to 12. Here's Adam O'Brien talking about some of the things that the Newcastle Knights might need to work on.
Yeah, like I said to the players after the game, you know, fundamentals of tackling and passing. Well, if you want a long, fruitful NRL career, you've got to be good at those two things. So we'll fix it.
Fletcher Hunt couldn't pass it to Dane Gagai. Well, Dane Gagai probably should have caught it. James Schiller passed it forward to an unmarked Jake Arthur. Jake Arthur dropped it. Like, that's the game. That's the game in those two things there. The Tigers 28, the Cowboys 34. Talk about spoiling the party. 2005 revisited and celebrated. And the problem is the big hombre got the last play again. That's right. Toddy Payton and his players bring down the Tigers. The halftime announcement from Shane Richardson and Barry O'Farrell, as I meant, there should have been a huge asterisk out on the field just standing around with them, you know. What's the asterisk doing? Oh, as Matty said, go and read the fine print on it. We'll get more of the fine print with Darcy Lown today. How many games? How many games at Leichhardt? How many games at Campbelltown Stadium? The Tigers missed the finals again, 14th straight year. Yes, we know that, but they've overachieved. We talked about this last week. They've had 9 wins this year. 2 games to go. They've overachieved this year. The Cowboys, they've underachieved again. And Leichhardt Oval, ladies, do we have to? I heard Matty, and then they're talking about traffic flows at Leichhardt. It's surrounded by a harbour. Good luck with those. What are you? You're on jet skis. It does my head in Leichhardt Oval. $50 million. Can someone explain to me? Do we have any civil engineers out there that can explain to me what's $50 million going to get at Leichhardt Oval? $60 million at Campbelltown Stadium. You knock down that stadium on the western side that has been there. I've been going to Campbelltown Stadium for 40 years. It's the same grandstand. It just needs improvement. Anyway, I don't know what 60 million gets. I don't know what 50 million gets. It doesn't sound like a lot. A couple of food vans are in there. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to get. But anyway, you know what? The rugby league gods smiled on Leichhardt Oval for the announcement. Like, if that happened 2 days earlier, 3 days earlier, 4 days earlier, everyone would have been going, oh, what a cesspit. Oh, the toilets were full of water. But it just happened to be a sunny Sunday afternoon. And then the Tigers went and lost, dashing their top 8 hopes. Oh, dear. All right, that was in my rearview mirror. And I'll tell you what, here's the other thing, people. The drone shot is magnificent for broadcast. It is the most misleading piece of information you can take to a live venue I have ever seen. You know those magnificent shots coming across from the Pacific Ocean over Wynn Stadium? Go to Wynn Stadium. Let me know when you see the ocean. You can't see it. Anyway, drone shot. Great for the broadcast. Horrible in misleading fans who attend live events. 1300 01 1170 0457 736 736. By the way, parting shot here. Mark Nwangani Tawase is not eligible to be the Dally M Rookie of the Year. Thanks for watching. For more great content, subscribe to SEN League, your home of the greatest game of all.